Today, we're diving into a really powerful story about how to conquer fear. Seriously, it's a parable that teaches us how to build that genuine, unshakable self-confidence, the kind that comes from real inner strength, not just, being loud or arrogant.
And wow, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the whole problem. It doesn't matter how talented or smart you are, if you let fear call the shots, you're just drifting. You might never get where you're truly meant to go.
I mean, have you ever been in that spot where you wanted to say something, to speak up, but you just couldn't? Or you passed on a huge opportunity because that little voice in your head whispered, "What if you fail?" If that sounds familiar, then trust me, this story is for you. Okay, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off in a bustling city. There's a successful salt merchant, and he has a family, specifically 2 sons. And let me tell you, these 2 could not have been more different.
So on one hand, you've got the elder son. He was painfully shy, so quiet that people often just thought he was simple or foolish. And yeah, they definitely took advantage of him. But the younger son? Totally different story. He was the life of the party, confident, energetic, and never, ever afraid to speak his mind. And you can probably guess who the father's favorite was. He was just constantly disappointed in his elder son's shyness. And his harsh words, day in and day out, just completely crushed what little confidence the boy had. It created this awful cycle of fear and feeling like a failure.
So as the years went by, this lack of confidence just snowballed. It led to one failure after another, until one day, everything came to a head in a really disastrous way.
His dad asks him to come help out with the family business. Now, the young man agrees, of course. He's desperate to finally make his father proud. But his nerves just got the best of him. He was clumsy, he fumbled his words with customers, and all it did was make his father even angrier. Then, one day, some con artists show up at the shop. They spin this tale about how his father sent them to pick up the salt shipment. And the young man, he hesitates. He feels like something's wrong, but he's just too scared to question them. And just like that, they walk out with everything. When his father came back and saw what happened, oh man, his rage was just off the charts. He screams these words at his son, and you can just imagine the weight of that. His father's fury, the neighbors laughing at him. He felt completely and utterly worthless. So totally broken, feeling completely ashamed, the young man wanders down to the riverbank. He's ready to just give up on everything. But right at that moment, as he's about to jump, an old man grabs him, pulls him back, and offers him, well, a very unexpected challenge.
This old man tells him that giving up now means he'll never find out what he's actually capable of. And the young man, he's confused. But for the first time in a long time, he feels this tiny little spark of hope. So he agrees to go with him. Okay, so here's the deal. The wise man makes him. He says, "Follow me for 3 days. Do these 3 things I ask, and I promise I will change your life." These were the 3 tasks, the 3 challenges that were about to change everything for him.
All right, so now the real work begins. The young man has to face the very things that have held him prisoner his whole life. I mean, each one of these tasks was designed to directly attack his shyness, his feeling of not being good enough, and that deep, deep shame he carried. Day 1. He has to do the one thing he dreads most: talk to complete strangers. At first, it's just as bad as he imagined. He's hesitant, some people totally blow him off, but he keeps going. And by the end of the day, he'd actually talked to 10 people. And you won't believe it, he even made a couple of new friends. Then comes task number 2, which feels even more impossible. He has to teach a group of children. And right away, that familiar voice of self-doubt kicks in, telling him, "You can't do this, you're not smart enough, who are you to teach anyone anything?" But the old man just calmly tells him, "Just share what you know." So with his hands shaking, he stands up in front of these kids and talks about 5 benefits of drinking water. And he does it. And as he's talking, he feels something shift. He realizes, hey, the more I do this, the smaller the fear gets. It was this huge light bulb moment for him. Okay, day 3. This was the big one. The final boss, you could say. He had to go back and face the source of all his pain, his father. He was absolutely terrified. But he was also different now. He gathered up all his new courage, walked home, and humbly apologized, promising he would prove himself. And his father, seeing this genuine, incredible change in his son, actually gives him another shot.
So the young man had done it. He completed the trials. He rushes back to the wise old man, practically bursting with one question. He's ready for the big secret.
He's thinking, okay, I did everything you asked. I faced my biggest fears. I pushed myself way out of my comfort zone. And I feel different. So he asks him, please tell me now, what's the secret?
And the wise man's answer is just profound. He basically tells him, there's no secret formula I can give you. You've already found the answer yourself. His biggest enemy was never his quiet personality. It was the fear that he let control his life.
And that's really the heart of this whole story, isn't it? It completely reframes what we think of as confidence. It's not some personality trait you're just born with. True self-belief is a skill. It's like a muscle that you build, one rep at a time, every single time you choose to act despite being afraid.
The story goes that the once shy boy grew up to become an incredibly successful businessman, respected not just for his mind, but for that confidence he worked so hard to build. So the big question is, how do we take this amazing lesson and actually apply it to our own lives? When you really boil it down, the takeaways are so clear. Self-confidence is something you build, not something you're born with. Your courage gets bigger every single time you step outside your comfort zone. And here's the big one. The world tends to see you the way you present yourself. So if you act with belief, people notice. It all starts with those small steps to tackle big fears. Because everything you want, your true potential, is waiting for you just on the other side of that fear.
Think about it. That young man's entire life changed because he took that first scary step. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is one small, totally manageable fear you can decide to face right now, today? Because your greatest life might be waiting for you right there on the other side of it.